Welcome to another edition of Sticks-n-Stonez. I'm your host, Brent Elrod, coming to you from the cozy confines here on the patio at the No Shoes Bar and Grill, deep in the heart of the Republic of Texas. I have a great matchup today. If some of you saw my little unpackaging a few days ago, we got in a whole lot of Perdomo, and we're going to do our first one today out of that. I know I did one last week, but that was separate. So anyway, I am pairing the Perdomo 10-year champagne, and I'm pairing it with Glen Fohdry Speyside French Oak Cask Single Malt Scotch. Now, I just stumbled upon it at Total Wine, and you know you'll be able to find a link to this spirit at Total Wine. Read the description on the podcast when it comes out later this week. Stumbled on Glen Fohdry. It has Fionn Frangach. Maybe that's the way the Scottish people say it. I don't know. I'll go with Glen Fohdry because I can say that. And I looked it up. It had some decent reviews on it. I said, well, hey, we'll give it a try. You know, I've only poured out one bottle in the entire almost 3 years I've been doing this. So anyway, I think it's going to be a great matchup. So right after this, we are going to pop the cork, cut the stick, and get to toasting. Now, the Perdomo 10-year reserve champagne, it is a 6x54 Epicure. The wrapper is Champaign, Connecticut. And it has a filler and binder from Nicaragua, and it is a kind of a mild to medium cigar. So it's really good for beginners, but it's also a really good kind of laid-back cigar for the more experienced hands. Now, champagne comes packaged, and I've already taken it off and thrown it away, in a yellow cellophane that does kind of bear a striking resemblance to some champagnes. But underneath, it is a beautiful wrapper that is just rolled to perfection. It features a really nice double cap, and it's really probably more synonymous with Dominican Republic than Nicaraguan, which the Nicaraguans have kind of embraced the triple cap. But this cigar has some nice weight to it. It's got a nice feel to it. It's not too soft. It's not too hard. There aren't any spots in it, some too hard, some too soft, and it appears to be very well packaged. Now visually, it is a beautiful light tan. Those of you that are watching this live stream, you're getting to see it. Those of you that are now just listening to it on podcast, you should have been here for the live stream. It has visible seams, but they are very tight. It has very minimal veining. The veining it does have is fairly pronounced, but there's very little of it. And then, as mentioned, it has a double cap. Now, I don't get a lot on the nose off the wrapper. It's little light hints of a little earth and maybe a little leather. But you do get a much more pronounced nose off of the foot. And there I do get a little bit of sweetness, kind of like a molassesy kind of dark sweetness and a little more earth. It's not an overly aromatic, but it does have a nice soft aroma to it. Now let's give it a cut. I am using the C-Car V-Cutter. This is what I will use most of the time. If you watch this every week, you know I kind of stick with what works. Depending on the cigar, I might have to go to a punch or maybe a guillotine, but typically I just use my V-cutter. Another really nice V-cut there from C-Car. All right, cold draw. It's got a really nice, gentle draw to it. It doesn't seem to be overly easy. And since this is a mild to medium cigar, I'm not really too worried about smoking it too fast. But it's just a very, very nice, easy draw, and you get hints of molasses and caramel and just a kind of a touch of earthiness. I'm probably going to tell you at the end of this, pretty certain I am, because I stayed away from this cigar for some reason. Just did. I would look at it when I would wander through Cigars International at the Colony, but I never would pick it up. And when I tried that first Perdomo, I was like, all right, I've got to give them some more love. I've got to try it. I've got to try more than one. So we're going to do like a month of Perdomo. So now on to Glen Fohdry E15. This is aged in French oak. It is a Speyside single malt. Now Glen Fohdry is it's not an actual distillery. They don't distill their own spirits from what I've managed to find on them. They are owned by Grant and Sons, and it doesn't appear that they do any distilling. If you know something different, put it in the comments, because I'd love to know. I did a lot of research on this, trying to get ready for this. Instead, like quite a few other scotches, they buy their scotch from distillers, and then they do their own blending to create their expressions. Now, looking on Total Wine site, they have expressions up to 30 year and going up into the vicinity of $500. But this bottle is not that. This bottle is about $35 for the bottle. So very reasonable. Now the mash is, of course, 100% malted barley. It is a 94.2 proof, 47.1% alcohol by volume, and it is a non-age statement. So if I remember my Scotch right, somewhere in the 3+ years kind of thing. Now, visually, oh, wait a minute. It's got a cork. That was a good one. It looks beautiful in the bottle. It is probably one of the most beautiful scotches I think I've seen in a while. Hopefully it tastes as good as it looks. Give it a little swirl. It's a little weak on the cling. It's pretty thin. I mean, there is a little bit of cling there, but we'll see. So, but visually, it is just, as you can tell, it is just a beautiful, beautiful kind of light to bordering on medium golden color. Kind of what you'd expect from something along the lines of the Glenmorangie or Glenfiddich, something like that, on the nose. And that's got a wonderful nose on it. I mean, I just barely took a sniff and had to make a comment. It's really full and rich. And I get notes of like baking spices and some light hints of vanilla. And I get a little bit of oak, and typical of the Speyside. There's no smoke and no peat in it. I think this could turn out to be really good. So we're gonna try it on the palate. That is a very, very easy drinking 94.1 proof. Or 94.2. 94.2. Yeah, 47.1. 94. I had to do. I can't be doing math right now. You do get a little bit of alcohol burn on it because it is up in the mid 90s. It's not much, and it fades away really quickly. And on the palate, you get kind of this rich apples and peaches. Even though I'm not a peach fan, peaches taste fuzzy. Don't judge me. Peaches taste fuzzy. And you get the oak in there from the French oak, a little vanilla. And if you didn't know better, you would think you're drinking, you know, a 12-year-old Scotch. I mean, it is really, really good. I'm extremely surprised. I would expect, for this taste, I would expect this to be closer up in the $50 to, you know, maybe even $60 a bottle range. I'm really amazed. And I'm sorry, it is a little windy here in Texas. So there may be lots of leaves and wind in the background. Sorry, I got my stuff up here to try and protect it, but, you know, hey, but love Texas. Now the finish is just about perfect. It's long lasting, but not overpowering. There's not a lot of burn. There's kind of on your palate, even seconds after the you've already swallowed. There's still this kind of coating on the outsides of your tongue where you've got that kind of fruit tree, apple, pear kind of sweetness. And I'm not really, at least now, I'm not picking up any kind of real spice or black pepper or anything like that. That may come a little later when I start pairing it with the cigar. I'm not picking it up just on the spirit itself. So we'll see. But let's go ahead and try these together. What am I using to light this? Can anybody tell me? Rocky Patel Envoy 5-torch. The Envoy is sometimes available, sometimes not on Amazon, and but you can find a link to it on the Sticks-n-Stonez Amazon store, and also the other 5-torch they have, the Diplomat. I haven't used the Diplomat, but I'm a real fan of these 5-torches. It's a decent volume of smoke off of the stick. I'm getting some notes of caramel and maybe cashew. It's a nuttiness, but it's not quite like a peanut. I think it's probably more along the lines of caramel. Doesn't kind of have the bite of almonds. There are some hints of black pepper. And then there's some earthiness. It's burning a little wavy, and I don't know, it could be my lighting skills. I have somehow managed to misplace my Cigarism single torch, and I'm missing it right now because it's so precise. I can really get those lines straight, make sure I did everything right. So Cigarism, if you're listening, I need another one of those. All right, let's try these together. I really wish the smoke would hang in the glass a little better off of this stick. That's just kind of my thing. I don't think it really means anything, but I like it. Together, these seem to be going together really well. Again, the stick is a mild to medium stick, and the spirit, while it is a 94 proof, it's not like hard hitting. I mean, it's a very soft and subtle 94. I mean, they are going really well together. You've got the notes of caramel and the notes of apple, so you're getting kind of a caramel apple-y vibe. You know, go to the fair. And while the other notes there aren't really kind of like, you know, marrying together, they don't counteract one another or detract from one another. So you're really kind of concentrating on the kind of the caramels and the apples, the peaches. I try to ignore the peaches. I gotta say, this is it's pretty good. I mean, now, you know, Perdomo is one of the premium brands out there. I mean, Nick Perdomo has done a really good job. And for the spirit to be a much lesser well-known spirit, I think it's keeping up. So we're going to go ahead and burn this down to the halfway mark, and I will come back and give you an update. Hey, Stoners, I am back here at the halfway mark. This pairing is doing really well. The stick is holding steady with caramel and cashews and a little bit of little hints of pepper and earthiness. The Glen Fohdry is surprisingly good and is pairing very well with the Perdomo champagne. I think that if it was a much more much more stronger cigar, like a full medium or over into the full strength, it might overpower the spirit. But I think that this particular cigar is going very well with. So I am going to burn this down to the band, and I will come back and give you my final thoughts. Hey, Stoners, we are down to the band, and the glass is empty. The last half of the Perdomo Reserve 10th Anniversary Champagne Connecticut stayed steady with caramel sweetness and cashews dominating, and with pepper and earth kind of in the background. The finish was short but extremely enjoyable. The Glen Fohdry had excellent notes of rich sweetness, apples. Like I said, I don't really like peaches, but I could tell it was there. And so, nothing against it. I just don't like them. And then oak and the apples and the caramel, the apples in the drink and or the spirit and the caramel in the stick kind of gave you this perfect time of year for it. Fall caramel apple kind of vibe going on. One thing I do think I skipped over when I was discussing the Glen Fohdry was that it is double matured. It is, and again, it's a non-age statement, so they don't tell you how long it was in each of these casks. But it is first aged in the traditional American white oak barrels, and then once their master distiller, malt master, whatever you want to call him, has approved the quality of the spirit, then they transfer that into casks that originally held French wine, which is, you know, I've said throughout this that you had this really kind of richness in it, in both in the visual and in the palate. And that French wine is wine. It's that second maturation that's really bringing that together. So that's a really good spirit for that price, and you should click on the link in the description and go to Total Wine and check it out. I would give the Perdomo Reserve 10th Anniversary Champagne, Connecticut a 93 matchsticks out of 100. This was a very, very good stick. Really good for, like I've said before, for beginners or experienced that just want something that's real light, sit back and chill with. They get Glen Fohdry, French oak it is also very good. I would give it probably an 85 whiskey stones. It's, like I said, it's really good. It may not be, I mean, I don't think it's up in the level of a Glenfiddich or Glenmorangie. I think you're talking about a completely, they do their own distilling. It's all, they take care of everything as opposed to going out and finding other spirits and blending them together. But it is a really good spirit, and I would not turn it away. So I'd give it 85 whiskey stones. I hope you have enjoyed this episode as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to see some comments, and if you've tried the Perdomo, if you've tried Glen Fohdry, what did you think about it? Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, share, notify, ring all the bells, blow all the whistles, so that you'll know when I drop new content. Especially tell your friends about it. That's how we're growing. You can find me pretty much anywhere. The podcast is actually, it's on Amazon Music, but you can literally go to the Amazon app, not the music app, the Amazon shopping app, and you can type in Sticks-N-Stonez, S-T-O-N-E-Z. And there's some group out there that has a song with explicit lyrics that comes up there too, but we're right there in the top 2 or 3. So you can just click on the picture in the app or the link in the app, and it'll take you to the podcast. So we're actually available on the on the Amazon shopping app. That's amazing. We're on Pandora, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast. I'm really pushing Spreaker right now. Spreaker is part of iHeartRadio, and I've really been impressed with the app. I'm still being hosted on Podbean, but I really kind of like what they've got going on over there, and they push out to a whole lot of other places like Deezer and Tumblr and places like that that don't really get. I mean, they're kind of niches. So I really like that, and you can also find the audio on YouTube. Same thing. You can go to the Sticks-n-Stonez YouTube page, and it just has the Spreaker image up there with the title of the episode. But you just hit play and listen to the episode. Visit our website, Sticks-n-Stonez.com, Sticks-n-Stonez.com. You can find episodes there. You can blog posts, and I blog about a lot of different stuff. I just posted one today about the science of coffee. So you can find things there that have nothing to do with cigars and spirits. Pretty much something for everybody. You can also get links to our Amazon store for show merchandise like Sticks-n-Stonez t-shirts and stuff like that. Links to our affiliates and our partners. I do get a commission if you go out to their, follow the link and go out to their website and purchase anything. We have affiliate agreements with names like Carhartt, which I'm wearing my nice heavy Carhartt t-shirt. It's got Carhartt on the front of it. It's what I got so much hate for when I posted a picture of it on Getter, or a video of me opening it up and trying it on. Apparently there's a lot of those really, really hard one-way people that, I don't know, Getter did something about vaccinations. I don't know. Keep up with that stuff. Anyway, Greg Norman Golfwear, Huck, the high performance fishing wear, and Pinto Ranch. Pinto Ranch is one of our affiliates. They have locations in Houston and Dallas. It's the official Western wear provider to the Sticks-n-Stonez show. Sorry, I was playing with my lighter. And you can get a link to them. Go out and say they got some great stuff. Whether you're economical on a budget. They've got stuff there for you. And if you have an unlimited budget, they got stuff there for you too. So you can get a little bit of everything. They're great folks. Don't forget that the links to the stick and the spirit are in the description of the show. So it will take you to the Perdomo stick on the Cigar International link, and it will take you to the Glen Fohdry page on Total Wine. And we much appreciate you supporting our affiliate partners. Until we get to be together again, keep your sticks dry, your stones cold, and have a great day.